Welcome. Namaste. I had a moment this morning. I was folding up some of my massage table supplies because the same room I'm doing yoga in is where I do massage. And I noticed that I have a soft padding with heat in it. And I noticed it had creases in it. And I saw myself folding it up. And I realized, gosh, I always fold this the same way. And then this mat is getting creases in only these certain places, and it was helping me to reflect on the way I use my own mind and the way I use my body, and to be curious, like, what are these, why is it that I do this action the same way? And in the our psyche and the fabric of our mind and body, um, there's a Sanskrit term called samskaras, and this refers to um, like these folds, the way that we habitually do an action or respond or use our mind. And part of the gift of yoga is waking up to that. And it's not to say that we need to label right and wrong, like, oh, I've been folding that mat wrong this whole time, but to consider the effect of the actions I take and how, yeah, waking up, being conscious and being able to make a different choice if I wish. So this this practice of being conscious and really it then becomes a skill, this daily way that we access this higher consciousness. This is really the gift of yoga and the discipline and the skill, and the magic of yoga. So um, just a little inspiration as we keep journeying through the holidays. It's a really adventurous time. I thought we'd get into some deep muscle groups like hips and core, kind of with that idea of releasing some of our deeper patterns. So we're going to get started. If you want to grab a blanket, yoga blanket, or substitute with a towel, we'll begin by rolling that into a bolster. So like a long cylinder, you want it to be pretty firm, so nice and tightly rolled up. And we're going to lie down flat on your back. So align the bolster so that you have equal support on both sides. And sometimes having more or less padding under your low back will suit you better. So if you're ever like in a question mark about your low back, give yourself a moment to make a change and see how that works for you. Arms could be out like a capital letter A with palms upward, or plant your hands on your belly for a little extra grounding and connection. If there are any wiggles you'd like to get out before you rest in a still position, go ahead and take those little movements. Conscious breathing. This is not about controlling the breath, but more being really aware, being really sensitive and here. Tracing your inhale as you fill up. Exhale through nose or mouth as you settle into this moment. And a few more deeper breaths as you settle in. Allow your body to soften and spread out over the prop underneath you. And shoulder blades move slightly out and down with gravity. Let the skin on your face release. There's no need to hold it in an expression right now. And just visualizing that unfolding, just spreading yourself out with your breath, with your awareness in this moment. Many of us work with our hands. So just trace your attention from your heart center and your breath out through your shoulders and down your arms. And like you might have softened your facial muscles, just do this for your forearms, your wrists, and your hands. Like your breath is an iron, just ironing out the folds or the patterns that develop in this area of your body. One of my big yoga brothers, Maitreya, would use the image of erasing a blackboard by meditating. And like during your daily activities, you might be accumulating words on that blackboard and images and thoughts. And each breath is just like that eraser, just clearing you out. We'll just take a few moments with these images, whether you resonate with the blackboard or the ironing out, the unfolding and softening of your body and your mind. And wherever you would like to take your awareness in your body, if a place draws your attention, maybe the feet, the thighs, the belly, elbows, ears, and bringing your present awareness. You bring this conscious breath and allow this part to smooth out, to release. Preparing to move. One foot at a time, plant your feet so your knees are bent. And two different leg positions, either constructive rest, where you knock the knees together and widen the space between your heels, or Baddha Konasana, where the soles of the feet connect and then the knees open up. So you could try both and just see if one is speaking to you. Stretch arms straight up to the ceiling. And like you're climbing a rope ladder, just inch one shoulder, one arm up, and then drop that shoulder lower down as you roll to the other side. So we'll just inch our shoulders up and down. Whoa, that feels even better than I thought it would. This is great. Yeah. Freestyle movements from here. Maybe you bend your elbows, trace your arms in circle or flower shapes. See what stretches you might access, or just movements you may like to play with from here. Maybe your neck becomes part of the movement. Roll all the way onto one side. And our next sequence is going to be done from side lying. So your bolster could be a pillow if you want. And we're going to have our little weight close by. Knees are bent. And for this flow, we're going to think of keeping our pelvis aligned so the top hip stays right above the bottom hip. Take your weight in your top arm. Elbow is close to the side of your hip and waist. And then our movement is knee and elbow up and slowly back down. So accessing some of our deeper muscles. Essentially, it's the rotator cuff of your shoulder and your hip. So the stability in your pelvis means that you're not rocking your top hip back. Your top hip stays directly above the bottom hip as you do the movement. And just for a little brain game, the next time your knees touch together, space your feet apart. So that one's called a flipper, feet apart. Yeah, so knees apart is a clamshell, and then feet apart is the flipper. So just get into that rhythm. 2 more rounds. Yeah, feeling that in my shoulder. That's strong. Great. So just set your weight off to the side. Take your top leg, bring it forward and stretch your bottom leg straight. So we have top knee resting on the ground. It's okay if you roll forward a little bit. Flex your bottom foot. So try to press that leg really straight. Bring the foot back 2 inches behind you. Yeah, and we're going to do little leg lifts up and down with the bottom leg. So just 4 inches or so in your range of motion. Same pace when you lift and when you lower. Point your toes, and now you're going to be tracing like the size of a can of soda. You're just going to be tracing a little circle with that leg. Bring it back in space a little bit to access different muscles. Yeah, tiny circle with those toes, and then change directions. Nice. Oh, take both arms overhead. Lean your shoulders onto the mat. So we're lowering down into a twist sort of shape. The shoulder that's more up, you can bring it further down. And just a moment for a freestyle twist. You may like to reach your arms into that T shape, roll more of your upper back down to the mat, or not, or have a different twist experience. Another breath in the twist. Roll onto your back. Take a moment with knees wide. Bring hands either to your belly or the top of the thighs, and take a conscious breath in and out. See what you're feeling in your hips. Roll onto the other side. I'm going to flip just so I'm facing the camera, but please be however you'd like to be. Weight nearby, going through that same sequence. Set up with bent knees. Weight in your top arm. Elbow is close to the waist and hip area. Going into the knee and arm lift. Slowly up and slowly down. Working with our hip stability, this means that the pelvis is not tipping back. So your right hip or your top hip stays directly above the bottom hip. Have fun with the flipper movement. So when knees come together, let's separate the feet. Yeah, ankles together, separate the knees. Great. Enjoy one more round, very conscious with that movement. With knees together, slide your top knee forward and slide the bottom leg flat and straight onto the mat. Flex through the bottom ankle, try to straighten that leg, and now walk that straight leg 3 inches back. Yeah, so we're gonna do leg lifts, flexing that bottom foot. Yeah, 4 inches up and down. Take an equal amount of time for the lifting and the lowering. Yeah, sometimes the foot's gonna sneak forward a lot in order to make it easier. And just notice if you can slide that leg back a little bit, accessing some of the less common areas. Point your toes, and now we're doing that little circle. So like the lid of a Coke can, just that little 3-inch circle. A deep breath as you change directions, going the other way. Nice job. Relax your legs down onto the mat. Lean your top shoulder back. So we're taking that twisty hybrid shape. Arms can stretch overhead as you work the top shoulder back any amount. Yeah, so time to explore in the twist. Arms could reach wide if you want. Different reaching shapes in your leg, or different amounts of your upper back moving toward the earth. It's okay if the top knee rocks around as you change your shape. Yeah, sometimes just arms overhead in the twist is really good. Yeah, one more moment experimenting in this shape. Roll all the way down to your belly. Stretch your arms forward. We're going to come into a Superman shape. Raise one leg at a time off the mat and just stretch it a little bit longer behind you. Nose pointed down at the mat. Breathe in, lift alternate arm and leg. Exhale as you lower down. Changing sides with your inhale, raise up. Exhale slowly down to the mat. And we'll just take that movement. If you wish, your head could rest fully, either on the cheek or the forehead after you exhale. One more on each side. Plant hands under your chest and push yourself back. Yogi's choice to take child's pose or downward dog. For some of us, we kind of need that moment in child's pose after all of the movements you just did. A few breaths as you trace your attention down the inside of your spine. You may like to rotate head side to side. Make your way to standing forward fold at the front of the mat. Give yourself a couple extra breaths, just hanging forward. You may like to weave your fingers together. Let the shoulders float up to the ears as you relax your back. Plant the feet as you rise up. Sweep arms overhead, breathe in. Exhale, hands to heart center. A moment to twist it out, bear twist or building chi. Feet are going to step wide. Make sure you're in a space where you don't have to restrict your swinging. So there's plenty of room to let your arms flow. Head may rotate with your hands. And sometimes there's a fun little like elbow bend at the furthest point. You get a little tap for your kidneys, for your shoulder. A moment to get in that rhythm. Great. Slow it down and take a moment in mountain pose by the front of your mat. In stillness, reconnect to your conscious awareness. And I find it insightful, and also it helps me to surrender that being conscious doesn't mean being in control. It has more to do with observing and being present. 2 more conscious breaths. Yeah, breath just ironing out any folds. Great job. Let's flow together. Breathe in, reach arms up. Breathe out, forward fold all the way down. Inhale to flat back, a little bit of cobra in your spine. Exhale down to the mat, walk back into plank. When you breathe in, make your pose really long, like a rope pulled taut. Breathing out, abs toward the spine, quads toward the thigh bones. Enjoy 3 deep breaths. Spine rises up between the shoulder blades and collarbones widen out into the shoulder joint. Use the knuckle pad where your fingers meet the palm. Push that into the mat. Nice job. Optional push-up and then come down to your belly. We have back bend of choice, cobra. I'm a big fan of locust, many of you know. Couple breaths to open up the front of your body. Exhale, lower down and plant hands. Inhale, make your way up and back into downward dog. Walk feet forward and exhale in standing forward fold. Breathe in when you rise up. Ground your feet the whole time, arms high. Exhale, hands to heart. Full breath in and out. Inhale, reach up, open your heart. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, press hands against feet or shins. Exhale, down to mat. Walk back to plank, breathing in. We're going to balance in plank. So you could always tap your knees down if you wish to make it easier. Reach one leg back, point the toes. Keep opening your heart. And then take the other side. So toes down, lift the other side. Yeah, just one more on each side. Great job. Take that optional push-up down to your belly. Why don't we let's take arms into a Y shape. Yeah, out wide. So similar to what you did before, we're going to lift opposite arm and leg. And now the arms are in this wide formation. Yeah, same pace for lifting and lowering. Try not to use the leg on the ground to leverage down. So whatever leg is on the ground, that's just floating. And then the lifting leg uses its own strength to lift. Nice. One more on each side. Plant your hands, make your way back and up into downward dog. Tap knees on the mat into table pose. Reach right leg back and left arm forward. So I've been playing with a different breathing pattern for this, with the goal of using our core a little more. So exhale as you reach long. Inhale, elbow to knee, raising your back up. Yeah, so moving with the breath like that. Exhale when you lengthen, compress belly to spine. Inhale, curling under. One more round. Let's make a rainbow. Hands on the mat. Lower the back toes and flip that heel down. Peel the top arm up and take it up alongside your ear. And so the back foot, it's probably going to go backward a little bit so that you don't have to balance too hard. Yeah, top arm can circle out a little bit. And press into the outer edge of your right foot. For a quad stretch, lift that leg, hold on to the outer ankle. Yeah, try to make your foot and your hip the same distance from the floor. Yeah. Pelvis could tuck under just a little bit as you open your heart, pulling heel toward your glutes. Yeah, reaching your knee and your shoulder in opposite directions. Nice job. Lower the knee down into table and change sides. Left leg back, right arm forward. Exhale when you're reaching long. So that's toning our core. And inhale, elbow to the knee, raise your back. Yeah, we'll just stay on that cycle. One more repetition. And then let us do the rainbow, hands on mat, drop the back foot, peel your left arm up to the sky. Play with your left footprint on the mat so you can really use it to help open the whole top side of your body. Top arm might circle as you open that shoulder. For quad stretch, lift the top leg, hold on to the outer ankle. So we're aware of keeping the knee, foot, and hip about the same height from the floor. Yeah. So heel is moving toward your glute. Little bonus is that slight pelvic tuck, just curling your sitting bone more under toward the back of the thigh. Unlock bottom elbow. Feel the breath flow through the top and bottom of your lungs. Nice job. Take knees onto the mat. Enjoy a flow. We'll meet together again in downward dog. Find your way to front of mat. Exhale in a forward fold. It's been a lot of wrists. Why don't we do the gorilla pose? Bend your knees so that you can plant your hand under your foot. So we're going to be standing on the palm of the hand. Knees can bend a ton to get yourself there, and start to straighten your legs. Bend the elbows a little bit as you pull the upper body down the front of the legs. Add a little extra core. Cinch in your upper abs and bring yourself closer to your legs. Continue your breathing and a little room to be conscious. Release hands from feet. Make your way to stand. Arms reach high. Exhale, hands together by the heart. Walk feet closer. We're coming into the chair. Utkatasana. Have a seat back. Reach the arms up alongside your ears. As you hold the chair, great time to do a moving meditation, or I'll call it an active meditation since we're not doing a ton of flow in this moment. Watching the breath flow fully in, deep inhales, complete exhales. Sit a little lower into your chair. Experiment with your body weight over your footprint. You may go a little forward and a little back and see what targets the areas you wish to strengthen. Visualize the pose you did from table when you were reaching your arms on your exhale, and just tap into that. See how you can find a core integrity while you're reaching your arms. Nice job building all that strength. Stand tall, drop your arms, let them swing, circle your shoulders, both directions. Hands behind the back for chest opening. Reach the heart forward and up. Breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. So we're going to take a few breaths in this pose. Activate through the direction your knuckles are pointing. So that will help to draw your shoulders down, your chest. For those of us for whom it's uncomfortable with hands behind the back, just want to show this example of holding I have a small towel between the hands. So sometimes if getting your hands crunches your shoulders up, then this is going to be the ticket for you to really get into your stretch. Get out of this shoulder strain. One more breath in the pose. Exhale, touch the mat. Inhale, send your right leg back for three-legged or standing splits. Yeah. Exhale, bend both knees, stack right knee behind the left. Yeah, curling up. These are Jiva squats. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, curl under. The next time you're reaching up, take an extra moment to twirl ankle. Maybe you like to bend the knee. See what there is to feel in this shape. Take a big step back. We're coming into lunge. Hands frame the front foot. Take a moment for movement as you bend and straighten that knee. Your choice to ground the back knee or keep it lifted as you lift your lunge. Take arms high in the air. Exhale, hands to back of head. So elbows wide. And just like you're leaning back on the beach, your head can rest in your hands. Ground extra into the front foot, drawing left low belly slightly away from the left upper thigh. One more deep breath in. Exhale, hands on the mat. Step back foot forward and change out your legs. Inhale, left leg back, three-legged standing splits. Exhale, chamber the knees, Jiva squat. Yeah, and just riding that flow with your breath. Long leg extension. Yeah, lifted leg, try to straighten the back of that knee. Full breaths. Nice job. With the leg lifted, take an extra few moments. Circular movements for ankle or the knee. Yeah, unfolding. Big step back. Let's move through the lunge. Hands on mat, either side of front foot. A little tip, have enough space between your feet that your low back feels comfortable and your hips can face forward. Great job. Back knee up or down as you lift your lunge. Breathe in. Exhale, hands to back of head. Put opposite pinky on top. Yeah, and we can just be in that imagery of erasing the chalkboard, ironing out the folds with your conscious breathing. Nice work. Hands on the mat. Your moment to flow or rest in child's pose. Downward dog. Take knees to mat. Cross your ankles and lie down onto your back. First moments might just be a knee hug or anything else that feels good on the mat. For figure 4, let's do the left leg first. Cross left ankle on the right knee. Curl up. Either hold the back of the right knee or the front of that shin. Drawing knees toward the chest. And it's more like right knee toward right shoulder. And then left knee might move slightly away from the left shoulder. For a little resistance activation, push your right knee against your hands. Push the left ankle against the right knee. Yeah. So it's pulling your arms long. There's extra tone happening in the areas of stretch. Good, and relax that, just pulling yourself a little deeper into the stretch. So your choice to stay in the stretch for a longer hold or take some figure 4 crunches. For this, hands would come behind your head. We're thinking of keeping the abdominals down toward the spine. So we're preventing the low back from arching excessively when we do the movement. Bring legs forward any amount. And when you exhale, curl up, heart toward the left shin. Inhale, make space, and left hip. Exhale, curl up. Yeah, 3 more rounds if you're doing the crunches. Yeah, low back curve stays consistent. Nice job. Plant right foot on the mat. Let's take that into a twist. Swing your left foot onto the mat. With your right hand, hold that foot. And the left knee, like a fan, you might move it further out and then further in toward the right shoulder. Try reaching your left arm overhead or out wide. A few moments to play in that stretch, see what you feel. Moving beyond the typical experience you might have. Yeah, opening up to curiosity, letting go of control. I'm laughing because I just came up with what we're going to do after this, and it's going to be really good. Okay, so let's do the second side, a figure four. Right ankle on the left knee, hands around the left leg as you draw it in. I often find a little alignment I can improve in this pose, or just attune to, is the angle of the tailbone. Sometimes it'll veer off to the left and kind of bypass some of the stretch. And then if the tailbone is more angled straight forward, like in line with your spine, this will target deeper muscles in the right hip. Right knee moves slightly away from right shoulder. Left knee moves slightly closer to the left side of the chest. Resistance, contract, relax, stretching mechanism. Push the left leg forward. So that's going to pull your arms straight. Press the right ankle into the left knee. Yeah. Pay attention to what parts of your hips are engaging. For me, it's down by the sitting bones on the back of the thigh. Another moment with that pressure. And then just relax and draw it in. And we've got a little choose your own adventure. If you wish to hold this hip stretch or journey into the figure four crunches. Hands to back of head, put the weird pinky on top. Inhale and make space between elbows and knees. And exhale, heart toward your shin. I'm trying to get the bottom tips of your shoulder blades off the mat when you do that little curl. Yeah, and when knees come forward, we're keeping low back integrity. Ab muscles move down toward the spine. Nice job. Finish the last round. Left knee bent, plant the left foot and swing into the twist. Right foot down to the mat. Left hand's going to hold that ankle. And then we'll just do that fan movement with the right knee. And no worries if your knee doesn't move the way someone else's knee does. Like, just go through your range of motion, even if it's small. You're enjoying the full breadth of experience, all the changes, seeing what you notice inside your body. Right arm could stretch up above your head on the floor or reach out wide. Nice job. Roll onto your back into Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. We have a few moments to relax here. If you would like to do the contract, relax stretching, that will be where the soles of the feet press against each other. And so, some deep hip engagement. And in that recipe, you're going to hold for about 6 seconds and then release yourself deeper into the stretch. And so while we're resting, you have the choice to be very passive and letting go, or try that contract 6 seconds and relax. If you have glasses on, take them off. Rub the hands lightly together. Cup your palm over the eye socket, feeling your eyes release, the nerves behind the eyes and into the brain, all releasing. One more breath right where you are. Roll your knees both to the same side and slowly come up to sit. Right. Just gonna check the time. Awesome. So here's a hilarious pose. I hope you have enough space for it. I'll just show you what it is and you can just play, see what you have room for. It is really nice if you have carpeting or something soft to be on. So we're going to start in Baddha Konasana. And this does work. I'll show you what happens. So the movement, I'm kind of like doing a curl where the chest is coming forward. So you're going to rock around. And sometimes you can get enough momentum that you go all the way around in a circle. Yeah. It's really super fun. I hope you have enough space where you are to play with it. Yeah, there is kind of some core you have to do to get all the way around. So at Shoshone, we didn't give it the very best name. It was Drunken Baby, so not a great name, but it'll help us remember this pose. So yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that was the name. So we'll come up with a better name later. Yeah, that could be traumatizing. So yeah, let me know if you have a better idea for the name. We'll just take another moment to roll around. All right, so just slow that down and come out lengthwise onto the mat. Staying in that butterfly position, we're moving toward the tortoise. Set your feet forward so you've got kind of an open diamond shape in your legs. Let's see, might have us warm into this a little bit. Tell you what, let's take legs flat to start. Bend your right knee, take left hand to the outside of that foot. Yeah, reach your right arm overhead, kind of pull that arm, pull on the foot, push the foot into the arm, and you might want to straighten the leg a little bit. We're going for that side low back stretch. At any point, you could lift up a little bit, rebend the knee, and push back into the stretch. Crazy thing, hand could cross over to the inside of that foot. Support with your hands as you rise up. Then we're taking second side. Left knee bends. Take right hand to the outer edge of the left foot. Reach the left arm overhead, turning the heart to your left. And then left foot might push forward. Right hand, pull that against your left foot, helping you to turn. Left leg might straighten any amount. So there could still be a bend in the left knee, that's fine. Yeah, left foot may keep pressing forward as you pull on it with your right hand. Great, hands on the mat. Push hands down as you sit up. Great, that feels nice, yeah. Take hands behind you, traction your back, just push into your hands, get your spine up and back. And now the Tortoise Kurmasana. Soles of the feet together in this kind of wide diamond. Walk your glutes back. So you're gonna make that diamond shape longer and be more on the front of your sitting bones. Walk your hands. There's a couple different hand positions. So elbows might come under the knees if that works for you. There's sort of a fun flipper thing where your hands move to the side. I'll show you a crazy version where some of us internally rotate the arms and then you can clasp behind your back. It's kind of a crazy full version. I'm a fan of the elbow looping under the knee and hands toward the foot. Take some time to explore the variations with your arms. This is one version of the pose where the feet are together. And another version, somewhat similar to what we did earlier, you're gonna have your hands, elbows under the thigh. Yeah, maybe hands to feet as you lengthen forward and down. And there might be just little movements like sitting bones walk back, feet walk forward. And remember, feet could always stay together as well. We have a few more moments to be conscious and relax and receive in this pose. Slowly, carefully unwind your hands, push them down as you sit tall. Next pose is final relaxation. Take your time coming down. We did do a lot of forward bending. Just want to offer a little pelvic tilt in case your low back is speaking to you after all of that. As always, if an extra pose is calling you, if you'd like to do any last stretches, go right ahead. You may wish to add sweater or socks so that you can be warm while you rest. In this deep letting go, let yourself release any need to adjust or change and simply be. A sense of trust and safety allows you to release even deeper. If you wish to rest for longer, please go right ahead. If you're ready to move through the rest of your day, start to take movement, fingers and toes, deeper breaths, stretching your body from the inside out. Take a slow transition to lie on your side first, and then sit up. With a moment of stillness and reflection, feel deeply the effect of your practice and just let that imprint so that even as challenges may arise in the future, you have this reference point of center and presence, and it is within you. So we'll just take a moment to let this imprint. I deeply appreciate the opportunity to practice with you. Thank you so much for being here today. Namaste.